Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome to Our Issues Birmingham. Today's guest, I'm sure you recognize. If you don't, shame on you, is Murry Bartow. Welcome to our show.
It's good to be here. Good to be here.
You never thought this would happen, did you? I didn't.
We've been in a lot of settings together, but never here.
Well,
But here we are.
we met actually through my affiliation with your father, which I don't know how you were when he got here, but perhaps you can share that with us. Why don't you tell us how you ended up in Birmingham? I know you came with your parents.
I did.
But in order to tell that story, you got to talk about your dad, because he's legendary for this town and UAB basketball, and it's still going on today.
It is.
So
it is.
What happened?
Came in 1977.
That's the year before I graduated law school.
Okay. I was going into my 10th grade year. I ended up going to Barry High School.
Barry Buck.
I am a very proud Barry Buck, and went there 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. But that's when we got here.
That's when it was over on Columbiana Road.
Yes. So anyway, the first year of UAB, as you know, was the planning year. So no no teams of any kind. It was just a year of
Well, did you come from
preparation.
California?
Yes. I was out there 2 years. We were out there at UCLA for 2 years.
Did you have a little culture shock coming?
Not really. We moved a lot when I was a kid. So we were in Memphis for 4 years, then Champaign-Urbana for a year, LA for 2 years, and then we moved here to Birmingham. So I was kind of used to moving.
Sort of military-like.
Well, a little bit. When you're a coach, you got to bounce around.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, we certainly were the beneficiaries of that bounce.
Well, it was unusual. At that time, obviously, my dad followed John Wooden. And so, UCLA at that time was the pinnacle job of college basketball. So I think the college basketball world at that time was shocked that Gene Bartow would leave UCLA to go to Birmingham, where they didn't even have an athletic department. So it was pretty unusual move at the time, but he felt that's what he wanted to do, and kind of the rest is history.
But what drew him to Birmingham? Any connections?
No connections. I say no connections. There was a gentleman involved with kind of the UAB process. You go back, Tommy, that was Dr. Hill and Dudley Pewitt and some different people at UAB at the time, and they had this vision of an athletic department. And it led to a gentleman named Dr. Gene Smith that became the president at Middle Tennessee, but he was with my dad when my dad was at Memphis State. So they started talking to Dr. Smith, and basically Dr. Smith told Dr. Hill, you need to talk to Gene Bartow. And so really initially it was just as a consultant. Hey, we want to start athletics. What are your thoughts? What are we going to have to do? What's the budget look like? And all those types of things. So it started as him really just in a visiting form, a consulting form, and obviously then it snowballed, and then they asked him to be the guy.
And he became the guy and stayed the guy for quite a while.
He did. He had a great run, great success.
How many years?
He started in 78, and then he retired, and I had the unenviable task of following him
tough
in
gig.
96. So he went from 78 to 1996 as the coach, stayed on a little longer as the AD. So had a lot of success.
What's it like working in the capacity of son/assistant coach under your father?
I loved it. Of course, I played for my dad at UAB, and I say I played. If you remember, he didn't play me a whole lot. He sat me. I sat on the bench a lot.
You were the guy that they cheered a lot when you came in?
That's right. Whether we were up 30 or down 30, that's usually when I entered the game. But, I played for my dad, and then I was an assistant for my dad. And then obviously I was the head coach when he was my boss as the athletic director. So, we had a great relationship. He was an incredible, Tommy, of course, you were friends with my dad, and great coach, a
No
lot of
question
Hall of
about it.
Fames, a lot of success, a lot of wins, a lot of championships, but he was a better person. He was a great man, full of integrity, loved UAB, was intensely loyal to UAB. He had a lot of opportunities to leave, including Kentucky and many other offers that came his way, but loved Birmingham and loved the people at UAB, and ended up staying a long time.
Well, we're the beneficiaries of that, and his legacy lives on at UAB.
Well,
Well, how long did you coach at UAB?
head coach at 6 years before I was nicely asked to leave.
Did you get the
so-
customary, we're going in a different
That's
direction?
yeah, I heard those lines. But of course,
Beats what I got a voicemail.
did you? Well,
when
I
was-
got better than a voicemail, but was an assistant for my dad for 7 years, head coach for 6 years, and then kind of have moved on from there. But still happy. Andy's doing a great job right now at UAB, so I still follow it closely.
Are you in touch with him?
Oh yeah, I still follow him. Tammy and I have season tickets. We go to the games when I'm in town, and he's doing a great job.
Yeah, they're looking good, and I'm happy to say the conference movement troubled me. I mean, your dad's when he was there and he was in that conference. We're going to have to take a break in a minute. I love that conference, and then they went to a different conference, and now they've gone to yet another conference.
Right.
So. But we'll talk more about that when we come back from break. Don't leave me. I promise.
I will not.
This is Our Issues Birmingham. We'll be Coach Murry Bartow. I can't stop calling him Coach. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back to Our Issues Birmingham. I guess you can tell I'm having way too much fun with this interview, and I am. But I want to talk about where you went after you left UAB. You went off to Tennessee.
I did.
And you took some teams to the NCAA.
We did.
And you're currently, what are you doing?
With the Sharp.
Well, just tell us tell us the progression.
Well, post UAB, I took a year off. Then I went to East Tennessee State, became the head coach there up in the beautiful mountains of Johnson City, Tennessee. You ever been up in that area?
I know it's pretty.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I was there 12 years, fortunately.
So the answer to your question is no.
Okay.
Not Johnson City.
Johnson City's a good place. Good place.
It's in the foothills of the...
It is. Bristol. It's the Tri-Cities area.
Oh,
Bristol,
yeah.
Kingsport, Johnson City.
And Virginia's up there.
Virginia's right there next to it, and Tennessee.
The same airport services three places. Yes.
You're exactly right. Tri-Cities
I
Airport.
did a case there one time.
So that's shocking that you do cases all over the country.
I do, but I didn't factor in how difficult it is to get to when I I thought about that one.
Yes. But was there 12 years, went to 3 NCAA tournaments, had some success, and then was out of coaching again for a year, ended up in Tampa, Florida, at South Florida for a year. I was out of coaching again, I think, for another year, if my memory's right. I ended up at UCLA and was an assistant there for my good friend Steve Alford. And then, unfortunately, they fired Steve midway in the year, and I became the interim head coach out there. And then was out for a couple years, and now I'm with the Charlotte Hornets and been scouting now with them for 3 years, and I'm really enjoying it.
And that's what brought us back together most recently.
Correct.
One of the reasons I wanted to have Murry on is I came to find out once we got reacquainted, once he went to all those places, I found out about an organization that he is the executive director of called the Bartow Foundation. and what it does. Why don't you tell our audience how it came about, what it is, what it does, so they'll know.
You know, about 4 or 5 years ago, when I was out of coaching, living here in Birmingham, wasn't employed anywhere at the time. I had a lot of time on my hands, and so I started thinking, what could I do maybe for kids in the city of Birmingham? And so anyway, basically, we are a faith-based foundation, but basically what we do, we identify kids in Birmingham, and our main target is inner city Birmingham, but really the whole Birmingham area. And we bring them into the foundation when they're a rising ninth grader, and then we stick with them for 4 years. So we do different things throughout the year. We have an academy, we call it an academy, it's a camp. But we do a camp each summer out at Indian Springs. It's an overnight camp, obviously all expenses paid for through the Bartow Family Foundation, so there's no cost of any kind to the kids. Bring them in as rising ninth graders and just love on them and encourage them and pour into them for 4 straight years, and then we just keep kind of recycling that. So anyway, we just got done with our 3rd camp, and it went fabulous. And so we're right now basically working with, there's about 60 kids, Tommy, in our foundation, and we're just trying to inspire those kids, encourage those kids. We talk about life skills, leadership, confidence, character building. Plus, we have a basketball camp as well. So a lot of things happening when we get them out at Indian Springs.
So when you're looking for people to participate in the foundation's program, are you looking for basketball players? And I don't
We
mean
are.
that in a professional sense. I mean, are you seeking out through the sport of basketball the people that get to participate in the foundation?
Good question. Yes, yes. And we identify kids through pastors, through middle school coaches, through, rec center coaches, through some AAU coaches that we've got relationships with. That's kind of the way we identify these kids to bring in the kids into our foundation, and then we go from there.
And you've got folks working with you out there.
I do.
Some old names. I came out recently for your
You did,
graduation ceremony.
which we appreciated you saying a few things to the kids. That was great. But Mo Finley, who was a great player for me at UAB, very under-recruited player when we got him, and then he ended up becoming one of the best players probably in the history of UAB basketball. But he's kind of my right-hand man on this with the Bartow Family Foundation. But we've got a board and but a lot of good things happening with it. I'm excited about it. Just trying to give some kids some additional guidance, some additional support, love on them, encourage them, and again, there's a faith element to it as well. So, but hopefully, we're doing some good. Hopefully, we're making a difference.
In a typical, I mean, it's not a year-round program. It's mostly in the summer, right?
It's a great question. We try to stay connected with them, Tommy. We do the camp in the summer, and then we try to have some different things throughout the course of the year to keep that connection with them. So it's really not just a one-time summer deal. We try to do some different events throughout the year to stay connected with these kids.
And are you having some what's the word I'm looking for? Continuity with the individuals that you work with?
I think we are. Time will still tell on that, but I think again,
you're just 3 years in.
We're 3 years in, but we're developing more of a relationship with each of the kids, and some of the things we're seeing are exciting.
Well, let's take a break. I want to talk about how someone out there watching us who might want to participate in what you have to offer can go about doing that. This is Our Issues Birmingham. I'm talking with Coach Murry Bartow, Bartow Foundation. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Our Issues Birmingham. I'm talking with Murry Bartow. We're talking about the Bartow Foundation, something I was totally unaware of. But for the last 2 years, I became aware of it and I started supporting it. And if you'd like to help support it, there's a way. There's a website. It's Bartow Foundation.
BartowFamilyFoundation.com. They can get on it, and it's got all the information on there just to learn more about it, or if they'd want to contribute. It's all right there on the website.
So it's an ongoing evolution of students,
Yes.
I trust.
Yes, yes.
So you mentioned you had about 60 students in the program now, and that's just 2 grades, essentially, correct?
Right. We thought to keep it sustainable over time, I'd like this to just keep going over the course of a long time. We thought 60 was a good number from a financial standpoint, and really, we never intended this to be big. That's not why I built this. I built this to have more of a one-on-one relationship, to get to know these kids. You know, they've all got my cell number, so some of them will contact me. We text back and forth, but I want to get to know these kids. So we've never wanted it big or to grow it too much. So we like the number 60, so I can get to know each kid. Mo can get to know each kid, and so that's what we're doing. We've got about 30 rising seniors right now, and we've got about 30 rising juniors right now. And we'll just keep pouring into them. And then obviously, once we continue that cycle, we'll start adding more kids that can come into the foundation.
Are these kids that come from dysfunctional families? And that I'm not trying to put you on the spot there, but we're all concerned about our youth. We're particularly concerned about gun violence in our city.
Yeah.
And some of that conflict resolution that results in gunfights, for lack of a better word, is happening within the home. Are you in that part of the universe at times? Do you have that going on in some of the people you are trying to see through life?
You know, the target really is, when I started this, I kind of reflected back on my days at UAB or East Tennessee State or other places. Sometimes you bring in a kid that's from a 2-parent household, maybe a strong Christian home, and maybe he doesn't need me quite as much to be kind of a father figure to him. But then I reflect on kids that came from very challenging situations. And that's really why I started this. Now, again, out of these 60 kids we've got, they're from all over. But our primary target is inner city Birmingham. So that's really where it all starts. That's where the majority of kids are from, is from inner city Birmingham. And I'm looking for a good basketball player, a kid that loves to play the game and
wants to achieve.
Wants to achieve, and you've seen the cornerstones of our foundation that we really talk to them a lot about: perseverance and resilience, and
failure.
Well, that too, and bouncing back from that failure though quickly. And you know, we talk to them a lot about education. We talk to them a lot about goal setting and character building and being more confident, and just trying to encourage them. But the target really is inner city Birmingham, but we've stretched it a little bit. But the vast majority of our kids are from inner city Birmingham.
Yeah, but you're drawing on 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds.
Yes. Go ahead.
Primarily.
We thought a great age would be to start when they're rising 9th graders. So that's when we bring them into the foundation, and then we just love on them for 4 straight years and stick with them try to stay connected with them.
I mean, they got to want to be there.
They do. There's certainly some commitment on their part, but I think they love, you'd have to ask them, but I think they love the camp. We bring in a lot of speakers. We bring in a lot of different people. You know, all kids love swag and you even like gear.
I had so much gear when I left there. I was asked to please find another place to put that stuff.
But we give them a lot of gear. We take great care of them, but a lot of gear, a lot of great speakers, a very high-end basketball experience led by myself and Mo Finley, and we've got other
Darryl
really
Braden.
good. Daryl Braden's incredible, former UAB Blazer, and Asa Woods, who played for us at UAB as part of this. So we've got a great staff. Indian Springs is a great place to do it, and they've been very supportive. And so hopefully we'll just keep it going.
Do you get your funding from within? I mean, was there? Are you constantly looking for?
We are. We are the Birmingham
people to help.
We are a lot of individuals, good friends of mine, good friends of my dad, good friends of our family have been incredibly generous. We're obviously a 501c3, so it is tax deductible. And then the Birmingham community. I'm not going to start mentioning too many corporations, but the Birmingham community has been incredibly supportive of what we're doing, working with these inner city kids.
Well, you're to be commended for the effort because we need it badly. And our mayor is committed to inner city youth as well.
Right.
And has made extra special effort to come out and visit with your
which is so
graduates.
Appreciated. So appreciated.
As the last question, and then we're going to have to say goodbye. I hate to say it, but is your success rate pretty good? Do people come? Do they stick, or do you lose a few along the way?
We've lost a couple here and there, but the success rate is very, very good of guys continuing to stay in it. But I think we do a pretty good job throughout the year of staying connected because then we want them back the next summer. So the success rate there has been pretty good.
Well, God bless you.
God bless you.
For doing what you do. We need more people like you.
And let's play golf one of these days.
Okay, not basketball. Although we match up pretty good on a basketball
We do.
court.
We do.
We'd be the two shortest fellows out there. This is Our Issues Birmingham. Thanks for being with us this Sunday. We will see you next week.
At ABC 3340, we're not just working for you, we're working with you. Because of you, together, we're making a difference. Thank you and keep them coming to news tips at abc3340.com or call us at 205-440-1841.